Have you ever felt like your life is weighed down by invisible burdens? Things you can't quite pinpoint but know are holding you back? Picture this: a cluttered room with items you no longer need, yet you hold on to them just in case. Imagine your mind and life working the same way, packed with outdated habits, toxic relationships, and unnecessary digital noise. It's exhausting, isn't it? Last year, I spoke with a close friend who felt stuck. She described her life as a constant whirlwind of stress and dissatisfaction. But as we peeled back the layers, we discovered something crucial. It wasn't her circumstances weighing her down. She carried the mental, emotional, and even physical clutter every day. That conversation changed her perspective and mine. It made me realize that growth isn't always about doing more or chasing success. Sometimes it's about doing less and letting go. Inspired by Stoic philosophy, this video will guide you through 9 things you should quietly eliminate from your life. From procrastination to unhealthy comparisons, these aren't surface-level tips, but deep, practical steps rooted in timeless wisdom to help you regain clarity, inner peace, and control. Stick with me, and by the end, you'll not only understand what's holding you back, but also learn how to start releasing it, quietly and intentionally. Share this video with someone who might need it, and let me know in the comments. Which of these lessons resonates with you the most? Let's begin this journey together. 1. Living with intention. Have you ever found yourself moving through life on autopilot? Tasks, decisions, and even conversations become routine, so ingrained that you no longer pause to ask, why am I doing this? It's as if you're following a script you didn't write. For many of us, this happens because we are chasing quantity over quality, filling our time with activities rather than purpose. A close friend once shared her struggle with overcommitting to social gatherings. She agreed to attend events she didn't enjoy simply to avoid saying no. It left her drained, dissatisfied, and disconnected. But when she began aligning her commitments with her core values, choosing to spend time with her family or explore personal hobbies, her energy shifted. She no longer felt obligated, but empowered. This shift is at the heart of what it means to live with intention. Living with intention is about choosing activities, relationships, and goals that align with your values. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, reminds us, ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? This single question can transform how you spend your time and energy. When you live with intention, you regain control over your life. Instead of being driven by obligations or external expectations, you decide where your focus goes. You stop reacting to the world and start acting according to your principles. Many of us fall into the trap of constant busyness. We think productivity is about cramming as much as possible into our day. But often, this leads to shallow effort and burnout. We prioritize quantity over quality and forget to evaluate whether these actions truly serve us. Consider your own life. How many of your daily tasks truly contribute to your growth or well-being? How often do you stop to reflect? Am I doing this because it's meaningful or because it's expected? By asking these questions, you can begin to identify the activities that align with your priorities and those that merely drain your energy. To live intentionally, start by defining your values. Write down what matters most to you. Is it family, personal growth, or creativity? Use these as your compass when deciding how to spend your time. Next, audit your schedule and look at your commitments. Ask yourself, does this align with my values? If it doesn't, consider letting it go. Embrace the power of no. Saying no isn't selfish, it's essential. When you say no to what doesn't matter, you create space for what does. Before starting a task, pause and ask yourself, why am I doing this? If the answer doesn't align with your values, reconsider. When you live with intention, life slows down. You feel clearer, lighter, and more present. Instead of being pulled in a dozen directions, you walk your path with purpose. As Epictetus said, the key is to keep company only with those who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Reflect. Are you living according to your values or merely following the motions? Begin today and let your actions align with the life you truly want. 2. The habit of procrastination. A year ago, I told myself I'd start running in the mornings to improve my health. I said next week, I'll begin. but weeks turned into months, and by the end of the year, I hadn't taken a single step toward that goal. The disappointment wasn't just in the missed opportunity to get fitter, it was in the realization that I'd let procrastination rob me of time I couldn't get back. Finally, 2 months ago, I decided to stop delaying. I laced up my shoes and began running. The results? I felt stronger, healthier, and more accomplished than I had in years. The only regret I have now is not starting sooner. Procrastination is a universal challenge. It sneaks into our lives disguised as a harmless delay. We tell ourselves, there's plenty of time, or I'll be more ready tomorrow. But the reality is, tomorrow often becomes next week, next month, or never. What makes procrastination so damaging is that it doesn't just delay tasks. It erodes self-confidence, creates stress, and builds a cycle of inaction. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This isn't meant to alarm us, but to remind us of life's impermanence. Every moment we spend procrastinating is a moment lost, one we'll never recover. The Stoics believed in acting with urgency, not recklessness, but with the understanding that time is our most precious resource. So why do we procrastinate? Often it's because tasks feel overwhelming, or we fear failure. We'd rather avoid the discomfort of starting than face the possibility of falling short. Yet, as Epictetus taught, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. The solution lies in breaking tasks down into manageable steps and focusing on the action, not the outcome. For example, if you've been putting off a big project at work, don't think about the entire project. Instead, commit to working on it for just 10 minutes. Once you begin, you'll often find that the hardest part, starting, is already behind you. This principle applies to almost anything, from exercising to writing or even tackling clutter in your home. Procrastination also thrives on perfectionism, the belief that we need to wait until conditions are ideal. But perfection is an illusion. Conditions will rarely be perfect, and progress always beats inaction. The Stoic approach is clear. Act now, refine later. By starting imperfectly, you build momentum, and with momentum comes growth. Take a moment to reflect on something you've been putting off. Ask yourself, what's one small step I can take today? Then act. It doesn't need to be monumental, it just needs to begin. Over time, those small steps compound into meaningful progress. The fight against procrastination isn't just about productivity, it's about reclaiming your time, your energy, and ultimately your life. Don't let procrastination dictate your future. Start now, even if it's just one step. As the Stoics would remind us, well-being is realized by small steps, but is truly no small thing. 3. Toxic relationships. During my college years, I shared a room with someone who constantly criticized my choices and made sarcastic remarks about my achievements. At first, I believed I could change his perspective, hoping that my actions might shift his negativity. But over time, I realized the toll it was taking on my self-confidence. The constant negativity drained my emotional energy, and I found myself questioning my worth. Eventually, I decided to distance myself. It wasn't easy, but looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made for my mental well-being. Toxic relationships are a hidden weight. They don't just affect your emotional state, they seep into every aspect of your life, clouding your thoughts, reducing your motivation, and even impacting your physical health. As social beings, we naturally seek connection, but not all relationships are created equal. While some uplift and inspire, others drain and diminish us. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus taught, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Recognizing a toxic relationship can be challenging. Often, it's subtle, an ongoing tension, unkind remarks masked as jokes, or a one-sided dynamic where you're constantly giving but receiving little in return. These patterns, if left unchecked, can erode your sense of self over time. The Stoics believed in protecting one's inner peace, and that begins with setting boundaries against negativity. Ask yourself, how do you feel after spending time with someone? Energized or drained? Supported or judged? If a relationship consistently leaves you anxious or small, it may be time to reassess its place in your life. This doesn't mean cutting people off without cause. Instead, it's about recognizing what's harmful and taking quiet, intentional steps to protect your well-being. Distancing yourself from a toxic relationship doesn't have to involve confrontation or drama. Start by limiting your interactions. Politely decline invitations or gradually reduce your involvement in conversations that bring you down. If possible, communicate your boundaries calmly but firmly. For example, you might say, "I value our friendship, but I need to step back to focus on my well-being." Remember, you owe no one an explanation for prioritizing your mental health. Surrounding yourself with positive influences is equally important. Seek relationships that bring joy, encourage growth, and align with your values. True friends celebrate your successes, stand by you in challenges, and respect your individuality. Letting go of toxic relationships can be difficult, but the freedom and clarity that follow are worth it. As Marcus Aurelius advised, do not waste the remaining part of your life worrying about other people unless it affects the common good. It will keep you from doing anything useful. Focus your energy on connections that uplift and inspire, and you'll find greater peace and fulfillment in the relationships that truly matter. 4. Unhealthy comparisons. From a young age, many of us have been measured against others. Whether it was parents comparing grades, sports performance, or career choices, the intent was often to motivate. But these comparisons, however well-meaning, leave lasting scars. They teach us to assess our worth relative to others instead of recognizing our unique journey. As we grow older, this habit persists. We compare salaries, homes, achievements, and even happiness, often to our detriment. Take my cousin, for example. He's in his 30s and often feels like he's lagging. Many of his former classmates have purchased homes and cars while he's still navigating his career path. This constant comparison weighs heavily on him, making him feel inadequate despite his hard work and progress. I, too, sometimes fall into this trap, questioning my path when I see others succeeding. But the truth is, comparison is a thief of joy. It blinds us to our strengths and potential by focusing only on what we lack. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, reminds us, "Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are." When you realize nothing is lacking, the whole world belongs to you. This wisdom encourages us to shift our focus inward. Instead of measuring ourselves against others, we should reflect on our values and what truly matters to us. The problem with unhealthy comparisons is that they often distort reality. We see the highlight reels of others' lives, especially on social media, and assume their successes are effortless. What we don't see are the struggles, sacrifices, and failures they endured along the way. This skewed perspective fosters envy and dissatisfaction. But comparisons, when viewed through a constructive lens, can also serve as tools for growth. Use comparisons as a fleeting experience, not as a judgment of your worth, but as a chance to reflect. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Are there strengths I admire in others that I can develop in myself? By shifting from envy to curiosity, comparisons can become opportunities for self-improvement. Here's a practical way to break free from the comparison trap. First, limit your exposure to triggers such as excessive social media scrolling. Replace that time with activities that build your self-esteem, like journaling, exercising, or working on a hobby. Second, practice gratitude. Each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for in your own life. Gratitude helps redirect your focus from what you lack to what you already have. Lastly, remember that everyone's journey is unique. Comparing your life to someone else's is like judging a book by its cover. It tells you nothing about the story within. Epictetus reminds us, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Focus on your path, embrace your progress, and celebrate the small victories along the way. Your worth is not determined by others, but by the values you choose to uphold. 5. Reducing digital noise. In today's world, our phones have become indispensable. They connect us to everything: work, friends, entertainment, and news. Yet this constant connectivity comes with a cost. When left unchecked, our devices can drain not just our time, but also our mental energy, leaving us overstimulated and disconnected from the present. A colleague of mine once shared her struggle with poor sleep and constant fatigue. Every morning, she came to work feeling groggy and unfocused. Curious, I asked about her nightly routine, and she admitted to spending hours scrolling through Instagram before bed. The endless feed of photos and updates made her feel restless, even as she lay in bed. After some gentle encouragement, she decided to swap her phone for a book before sleep. Within weeks, she noticed a dramatic change. Her sleep improved, and she started her days feeling more refreshed and productive. This example highlights a key issue. Digital noise isn't just a distraction, it's a thief of clarity and well-being. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This reminds us that while we can't control the influx of digital distractions, we can control how we engage with them. Digital noise comes in many forms: endless notifications, mindless scrolling, and the pressure to always stay connected. These habits create a constant state of overstimulation, making it harder to focus and find peace. The problem isn't just about wasted time, it's about the mental clutter that builds up, preventing us from living intentionally. To reduce digital noise, start by setting boundaries with your devices. Designate specific times for checking emails and social media, rather than letting them interrupt you throughout the day. Use features like Do Not Disturb or app timers to limit your screen time. Small changes, such as keeping your phone out of reach during meals or placing it in another room before bed, can make a significant difference. Next, be mindful of what you consume. Just as we choose what we eat, we should carefully select the content we allow into our minds. Ask yourself, does this add value to my life, or is it just filling space? Unfollow accounts that drain your energy and focus on content that inspires or educates you. Finally, embrace intentional digital breaks. Set aside time each day to disconnect completely. Whether it's taking a walk, practicing mindfulness, or enjoying a device-free meal with loved ones, these moments help you recharge and reconnect with yourself. The Stoics valued silence and reflection, recognizing that clarity often emerges in stillness. As Epictetus said, we are not disturbed by things, but by the views we take of them. By reclaiming your attention and reducing digital noise, you create space for what truly matters: your inner peace, focus, and the richness of life beyond the screen. Start small, stay consistent, and rediscover the power of presence in a world filled with distractions. 6. Letting go of the need to control everything. The need for control is deeply ingrained in many of us. It offers a sense of safety, predictability, and assurance. We believe that if we can control outcomes, whether at work, in our relationships, or in everyday situations, we can prevent mistakes, avoid pain, or achieve success. Yet this relentless drive for control often leads to frustration and exhaustion, because the truth is that so much of life is beyond our grasp. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus famously said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." Our actions, choices, and attitudes fall under our control, but the behaviors of others, external events, and outcomes do not. By trying to control the uncontrollable, we only create unnecessary stress and rob ourselves of inner peace. Consider the energy we expend micromanaging projects at work, convinced that only our way will yield the best results. Or the frustration we feel when family members make decisions that don't align with our expectations. These attempts to control others not only strain relationships, but also distract us from focusing on what truly matters: our own growth and well-being. Letting go of control doesn't mean indifference or passivity. It means accepting uncertainty and trusting the process. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This shift in perspective allows us to approach life with more clarity and resilience. To begin releasing the need for control, start by identifying areas in your life where you've been holding on too tightly. Ask yourself, what am I trying to control? Is it within my power to change? If the answer is no, practice letting it go. Focus instead on your response to the situation, your attitude, actions, and choices. Another helpful practice is embracing imperfection. Perfectionism often drives the need for control, as we fear that letting go will lead to failure. But life's beauty often lies in its unpredictability. When we release the need for everything to go perfectly, we open ourselves to unexpected opportunities and growth. It's also important to trust others. Whether it's colleagues, family members, or friends, give them the space to make their own choices, even if those choices differ from what you'd prefer. Trust fosters stronger relationships and frees you from the burden of micromanagement. Finally, cultivate mindfulness. When faced with uncertainty, bring your attention to the present moment. Deep breathing, meditation, or simply observing your thoughts without judgment can help you navigate challenges without the compulsion to control. As the Stoics teach us, peace comes from focusing on what we can influence, our thoughts and actions, while letting go of what we cannot. By releasing the need to control everything, you create room for growth, freedom, and a deeper sense of calm in your life. Trust the flow of life, and you'll find it often brings you exactly where you need to be. 7. Releasing unrealistic expectations. A few years ago, I set out to write a book. I told myself I'd finish it in 3 months, even while balancing a full-time job. The timeline was ambitious, unrealistic. As the weeks passed, I struggled to keep up with my schedule. I began to feel frustrated and defeated, questioning my abilities and commitment. What I failed to realize at the time was that my expectations weren't grounded in reality. They were driven by impatience and the belief that progress needed to happen quickly to be meaningful. When I adjusted my expectations, allowing myself more time and flexibility, I not only enjoyed the process, but also produced far better work. Unrealistic expectations are a double-edged sword. On one hand, they push us to strive for more. On the other, they set us up for disappointment when reality doesn't align with our ideals. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This philosophy teaches us that while we can control our efforts, we cannot control outcomes. The problem with unrealistic expectations is that they're often based on idealized versions of reality, what we think should happen rather than what is likely to happen. We envision perfect results without accounting for challenges, delays, or the unpredictable nature of life. This disconnect creates a cycle of stress and dissatisfaction, leaving us feeling as though we've fallen short, even when we've made genuine progress. To release unrealistic expectations, start by grounding yourself in the present. Reflect on your goals and ask, are they achievable given my current circumstances? If the answer is no, adjust them. Setting realistic goals doesn't mean lowering your standards. It means aligning your aspirations with what's possible. It's also crucial to detach from the need for perfection. Perfectionism often fuels unrealistic expectations, making us believe that anything less than flawless is a failure. But as the Stoics remind us, imperfection is part of the human experience. Seneca wrote, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Progress, not perfection, should be the measure of success. Another powerful tool is practicing gratitude. Instead of focusing on what you haven't achieved, take a moment to appreciate what you have accomplished. Gratitude shifts your perspective, helping you see progress where you might otherwise see failure. Finally, allow yourself to adapt. Life is fluid, and clinging to rigid expectations often leads to unnecessary frustration. By embracing flexibility and accepting that plans may need to change, you free yourself from the burden of unrealistic standards. Releasing unrealistic expectations doesn't mean giving up on your dreams. It means approaching them with wisdom and balance, recognizing that true growth comes not from achieving the impossible, but from navigating life's challenges with grace and resilience. 8. Transforming negative thoughts. Negative thoughts are like a small snowball rolling down a hill. At first, they seem insignificant, but as they roll, they grow larger, picking up speed and strength. The more you focus on these thoughts, the more powerful they become, consuming your energy and clouding your judgment. Left unchecked, they can dominate your mind, shaping not only how you see yourself, but also how you experience the world around you. The Stoics believe that our thoughts hold immense power over our lives. As Epictetus said, we are not disturbed by things, but by the views we take of them. This means that it's not the events themselves that create distress, but how we interpret and respond to them. By shifting our perspective, we can transform negativity into growth, resilience, and clarity. The first step to transforming negative thoughts is recognizing them. Often, they operate in the background of our minds, feeding on assumptions, doubts, and fears. Pay attention to the patterns of your inner dialogue. Are you quick to criticize yourself? Do you dwell on worst-case scenarios? Bringing these thoughts into conscious awareness is the first step to taking control. Once you've identified a negative thought, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought based on fact, or is it rooted in fear or assumption? For example, if you find yourself thinking, "I always fail," pause and reflect. Is it true that you always fail, or are you ignoring your successes and focusing only on moments of difficulty? This practice of questioning creates distance between you and the thought, reducing its grip on your mind. Reframing is another powerful tool. Instead of letting a negative thought spiral, look for a constructive perspective. For instance, if you think, "I'm not good at this task," reframe it as, "This is a chance for me to learn and improve." This shift doesn't deny the challenge. Instead, it turns it into an opportunity for growth. The Stoics emphasize the importance of focusing on what we can control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this and you will find strength. When negativity arises, ask yourself, what can I control in this situation? Redirect your energy toward taking meaningful action, rather than dwelling on what's beyond your influence. Another effective practice is gratitude. Negative thoughts often blind us to the good in our lives. By intentionally focusing on what you're grateful for, you can counterbalance negativity and cultivate a more positive mindset. Start by writing down 3 things you appreciate each day, no matter how small. Over time, this habit trains your mind to see abundance rather than lack. Finally, embrace self-compassion. Recognize that everyone experiences negativity at times, and slipping into those thoughts doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. Treat yourself with the kindness you'd offer a friend. Instead of harsh self-criticism, offer encouragement and understanding. Transforming negative thoughts is not about eliminating them, it's about reducing their power and replacing them with thoughts that uplift and empower you. By practicing awareness, reframing, gratitude, and self-compassion, you can take control of your inner dialogue and align it with the life you truly want to live. 9. Clearing mental and physical clutter. After months of putting it off, I finally cleaned out my closet last weekend. Sorting through old clothes I hadn't worn in years felt liberating. Letting go of what I no longer needed created not just physical space, but also a sense of mental clarity. It was a small act, yet it brought an unexpected sense of relief and calm, reminding me of how much clutter, both mental and physical, can weigh us down. Clutter has a subtle yet profound effect on our lives. Physical clutter creates visual chaos, making it harder to focus or relax. Meanwhile, mental clutter, unresolved thoughts, unfulfilled obligations, and endless to-do lists leads to overwhelm and stress. Together, they create a constant hum of distraction that prevents us from living fully in the moment. The Stoics believed in simplicity, advocating for a life free from unnecessary burdens. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you seek tranquility, do less, or rather, do what's essential, do less, better." This wisdom applies not only to our actions, but also to our surroundings and thoughts. Clearing clutter, then, is not just about tidying up, it's about making space for what truly matters. To begin, tackle your physical environment. Start small, perhaps with a single drawer, your desk, or a corner of your living room. Ask yourself, do I use this? Does it add value to my life? If the answer is no, consider letting it go. This process not only creates order, but also serves as a symbolic act of releasing what no longer serves you. Clearing mental clutter requires a similar approach. One effective method is journaling. Spend a few minutes each day writing down your thoughts, worries, and tasks. This simple practice helps transfer the chaos in your mind onto paper, where it feels more manageable. Another strategy is prioritization. Identify what truly needs your attention and let go of what's less important. As Seneca observed, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Focus on what aligns with your values and goals. Mindfulness also plays a crucial role. By grounding yourself in the present, you can quiet the noise in your mind and better appreciate the simplicity of the moment. Techniques like deep breathing, meditation, or simply pausing to observe your surroundings can help clear mental clutter and restore a sense of peace. Clearing clutter isn't just about organization, it's about creating space for clarity, focus, and intention. By letting go of the unnecessary, you free yourself to fully embrace what truly enriches your life. As the Stoics remind us, simplicity is not a sacrifice, it's a path to greater freedom and tranquility. As we've explored, simplifying your life by letting go of what no longer serves you is a powerful act of self-care. From clearing physical and mental clutter to releasing unrealistic expectations, each step is a practice in aligning your actions with your values. These are not just strategies for organization or productivity. They are profound lessons in regaining clarity, inner peace, and intention. The Stoics teach us that true freedom lies in focusing only on what we can control. By letting go of distractions and burdens, we make space for what truly matters. Whether it's breaking free from toxic relationships, transforming negative thoughts, or learning to live with intention, these small but meaningful changes are within your reach. Start with one area of your life. Choose one habit, one thought, or one responsibility to let go of, and observe the peace that follows. This journey isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Growth is not achieved through grand gestures, but through consistent, mindful choices that bring you closer to the person you wish to become. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." I encourage you to take this lesson into your life. Reflect on what you can let go of today and how it might create room for growth and clarity. Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Let's learn from one another as we walk this path toward a simpler, more meaningful life.